Guess who's out? Liz Truss. That literally was like the aware emote on Twitch. Liz Truss is out. My God. I think it was well overdue, number one. I think she would do nothing but fuck the country. And, you know, being a proud Brit, which I obviously am, in not so great Great Britain, I definitely felt like she was a horrible, horrible human being. She did not care about anybody. She did not care about anything. And I also just don't think she knew what she was doing. To be honest with you, I just don't think she actually had any clue about what it was to be in office as Prime Minister, being in charge of all these people's livelihoods, being in charge of the British population. Now, we can't just talk about her failures, and we can't talk about her lack of responses and her completely dodging questions and still, you know, being adamant on fracking and
pork markets.
When a regime has been in power too long, when it has fatally exhausted the patience of the people, and when oblivion finally beckons, I am afraid that across the world you can rely on the leaders of that regime to act solely in the interest of self-preservation and not in the interests of the electorate. That was Boris Johnson in 2011. Fast forward 11 years later, and 12 years of Tories later, 5 prime ministers later, and look at where we are. Back to square one. And I think that, you know, there's a couple of things that the Tories have done which are so clippable, just poorly aged, not as poorly as that lettuce that outlasted Liz. You can just bring it up in any context. You can literally put up the video of Liz Truss saying that she's a fighter, not a quitter, on a Wednesday, 12 p.m, Thursday, 1:30 p.m, 25 and a half hours later, she quit. She quit. I cannot deliver the mandate. Are you, what?
I am a fighter and not a quitter. I cannot deliver the mandate on which I was elected by the Conservative Party. I have therefore spoken to His Majesty the King to notify him that I am resigning as leader of the Conservative Party.
You can also come and bring up the very first Prime Minister's questions, which I was talking about. Theresa May had the fantastic question here, talking about why is it that all the female prime ministers that we've ever had in the UK have been Conservative women.
May I congratulate my right honourable friend and welcome her to her position as the third female Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Can I ask my right honourable friend, why does she think it is that all 3 female prime ministers have been Conservative?
But what do they also all have in common? Whoever comes into power, I think, the first thing that they should do is call a general election. There is nothing else. There is nothing left to do. Call a general election. After 12 years, after 5 prime ministers, 3 of those prime ministers are now going to have been in the last 2 months, and 3 of those chancellors the same. We just, at this point, don't have, there's no backing, there's no backbone left to stand on. It really is just going to be this revolving door of chaotic Tory prime ministers experimenting with their ideas, and ultimately who suffers? The British working class population, the average person who is now forced to skip meals to pay their bills, who have to choose between feeding their kids or keeping the lights on, and it's just insane that we have got to this point. The jokes that are going around on social media that, you know, other countries should use this opportunity and capitalize on it and colonize England amidst the chaos is so fucking true, because right now is the best time. We have no government, we have no real structure, no fundamental structure, incredible and insane amounts of debt, incredible and insane amounts of poverty, and people are starving. Literally, like the fucking 5-knuckle shuffle of just craziness. Like, you can't see me, you can't see a fucking clear future of this country at all. At all. There is nothing going on. There's nothing going right. Nothing's going well. The only thing that's going well is, I guess, that death rates aren't skyrocketing just yet. Let's wait and see. You know, we're only in October. The cold months haven't even started to happen just yet, when people are really going to need to use their heating. People are really going to need to use their electricity, and their bills are going to skyrocket. I mean, just the other day I saw Tesco, £3 meal deals they've been £3 for as long as I can remember. They're now £3.40 on Club Card. Even before, when the Club Card pricing came through, I was a bit like, whoa. I disagree with the fact that you have to be and you should be a member in order to, like, you know, have a better price at something, right? Especially when it comes to supermarkets. When it comes to like online shopping, clothing and whatnot, I can give there's a bit of leeway that I can give, right? I think you should be able to earn points and use those points to, I guess, get discounts, but you shouldn't have to be a member in order to access the best price possible. £3.90 if you're a non-club card member, and £3.40 for club card is fucking insane. There is no other way to put this. It's fucked up. And it's just, as I said on my Instagram the other day, it's these fucking corporations and companies just pulling out all the stops to capitalize on this economy, to capitalize on the inflation and to increase their profits. Already they are exploiting us. Already they are reporting supernatural, supernormal profit, and they still want more. Tesco have the largest fucking market share in the entire country. The whole thing. You look in GCSE and A-level textbooks from previous years when I was doing GCSEs and A-levels about 6 and 7 years ago, you could see there are literally articles and case studies on how Tesco was investigated by the Competition and Markets Authority because there wasn't enough, there were fears of not enough competition from the likes of Sainsbury's, Marks and Spencer's, Asda's and whatnot. It's mind-blowing that this has been allowed to happen. It's mind-blowing that the mini budget, the 45p tax cuts, corporation tax, everything that was in this wonderful song.
45p tax cut, gone. Corporation tax cut, gone.
It's a bloody tune, yeah? But fucking hell, man. It's scary that this was even allowed to happen. It's scary. It's scary. And you can clearly see this was all done in an attempt of self-preservation and also an attempt of making the most money that you can and then leaving. I think all of these Tory ministers and prime ministers knew that there was going to be some fucked up shit on the horizon. They knew they weren't going to last. And so what do they want to do? Make as much money as possible and leave. Kwasi Kwarteng, he threw a hand grenade into the UK economy and left. Liz Truss tried, I guess, to last as long as she could. Now she's going to be picking up a lovely little £115,000 a year paycheck and left. Rishi Sunak, he just wants to divert funding from the most poor, deprived areas in society, the areas that need the money, and keep funding those rich, posh areas. And then he's going to leave because he doesn't care. He's got his billions in the bank already. And, his wife doesn't even pay tax on that shit. And then, you go all the way back. We had fucking Theresa May. That says enough. No humanity towards the Grenfell survivors, no humanity towards the Grenfell disaster at all anyway, and definitely no strength and backbone when it came to arguing against or for Brexit. And then you go even further back and we talk about this man, David Cameron, the biggest pussy in British politics of all time. I'm gonna say it. He was the most powerful man in Europe at one point. His country had just voted a 50-50, basically, 48-52 split on Brexit. At that moment in time, you had the most power in Europe. You could have gone to that committee and said, listen, my country has just voted a very close referendum. I want a deal. Clearly, half the population doesn't want to leave Europe and half the population do. So let's give the half that do a better deal. And I'm sure the European Union would have, been very accommodating. I don't think they wanted us to leave, and I don't think half the country did want to leave. And you know what? The reason why I'm going back that far, the reason why I am not just focusing on Liz and whoever's going to be next, is because I think that's what fucked us. I think Brexit was the worst decision that the British people have ever made, at least in recent times, because they made some pretty fucked up decisions back in the day as well. All roads lead to Brexit. 2016 was a pivotal and vital year, and I think it's a year that's going to be studied in politics, economics, humanities, geography, everything for eons to come. It completely shaped and changed the economy of European countries and of the United Kingdom itself in the worst way possible. We are still reeling and are going to be reeling for the next 5, 10, 15, maybe even the rest of our lifetimes in this country because of that decision and because of the stupidity of allowing old people who are xenophobic and racist, just allowing them to control and dictate the country, allowing the likes of Boris Johnson and Nigel Farage to lie, and the media fucking propaganda bullshit just being allowed again to spread that stupidity. And it's talking about politics honestly makes me cry. It's just so draining, and so you just realize how stupid we have been as people, and how stupid those people who lead us are. We as working class people, we as the average person in this country shouldn't be suffering because of the incompetency and the infighting of Tories. The Tories have just shown over the last 12 years, over and over and over again, that they cannot and will not make decisions for the greater good of the average person living in Britain. They make the decisions based on those 0.1% at the top who are going to benefit the most. The corporations who do not need extra tax cuts, the corporations who don't need extra help, that's who the Tories are really going after. And I think it's wrong, I think it's disgusting, it's disgraceful, and those kinds of people should not be in power at all. The fact that I'm seeing normal people talking about, oh, I think Boris Johnson should come back and fix the problem. Boris Johnson isn't going to come back and fix a problem. There's going to be bigger problems. Look at what he did during COVID. Look at what he did the last 2 years before he was resigned. Look at how he lied over and over and over again since 2016 with Brexit, how he's only gone and sought. He used to be a Remainer. He was a Remainer and then he was a Leaver simply because he knew that was going to get him power. He knew he could be the main guy. He's legit like the Mbappe of politics, just an egomaniac, power hungry. I'm just going to sign off on this one. This was a rant, and yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon. Hopefully we survive. Hopefully I do see you again. Hopefully we actually can manage to, turn the electricity on in our homes and the Wi-Fi, and actually watch YouTube videos. But yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Take care. I forgot to press record on the mic.
45p tax cut, gone. Corporation tax cut, gone. 20p tax cut, gone. 2-year energy freeze, gone. Tax-free shopping, gone. Economic credibility, gone. And her supposed best friend, the former Chancellor, he's gone as well. He's gone as well. He's gone as well. Gone as well. Gone as well. He's gone as well. He's gone as well. He's gone as well. Gone as well. Gone as well.